Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of our travel podcast. I'm here with Sunila in the Veena World podcast studio. Today we are going to talk about a state of India which has a famous tagline which goes by Sunila, what is that tagline?
Padharo Maro Des,
Rajasthan, right?
Rajasthan.
So, if you're talking about Rajasthan,
Mhm.
I thought maybe start talking about the regions that are Rajasthan, right? And I think you just went to Rajasthan. Where was
That's
that?
right. I went to Jaipur, Neil. I think it's countless times I've been to
How many
Jaipur.
times? Like, how many
I don't
times?
know. I've lost count. In 1 month, I went twice. So I think there's a next trip
What
coming
was what
soon.
was this trip for?
This was for Tourism Australia. So I
Mhm.
had gone for that. That was the first trip actually. Tourism Australia had the event out there, and I went in there for one night. But then I added a small holiday just before that with my mother. So it was really special. It was fun. I ended up making a weekend out of it. So that was great. And the next time I went, it was actually for Rajasthan Tourism Mart. So that is where it was the Rajasthan Domestic Tourism Mart. And it was really a nice place to meet all the partners from Rajasthan. The event was in City Palace, so it was very special.
And did you stay at two different properties?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Which were the
So,
two?
when I went for the Rajasthan Tourism Mart, I was at the ITC,
Hmm.
which is also very beautiful. It reminds you kind of a palace with the grounds and the beautiful structure that it is. I think almost all properties in Rajasthan are amazing. But when I went in before that for Tourism Australia, again I stayed at two properties, and that's what is interesting about this state because I had the opportunity to stay in an actual palace, which was my holiday for the weekend. And then I went into something that's made like a palace. That's new structure. So I was at the Fairmont,
Ah,
and I was there for one night, which is like your modern palace, if you want to call that. And then before that, Neil, I was at Samod Palace and Samod Haveli. I kind of wanted to get an experience of both. So that was really stunning.
so if someone were to go stay in a palace in
Mhm.
Rajasthan, what is something that they should or would expect?
So here, you experience the history. You experience, for me, it was like, I felt like I was stepping back in time, especially at Samod Palace and Haveli also, actually. Because, okay, let's talk of Samod Haveli first because it is right in the city. It's crowded outside. You are in the heart of Jaipur. It's this puzzling, buzzing city. And suddenly you enter the gates and everything is quiet. It's like just quiet. There's some different kind of peace out there. And then the walls, the rooms, everything reminds you it's like taking a step back in time. And in the evening, everything is so beautifully illuminated, and then you hear a peacock calling, the breeze is nice, it kind of cools down. Jaipur cools down in the evenings almost most days. So it's really quite pleasant, and then you have the trees and everything. So it's really beautiful. Samod Palace is a little away from the city, so it's about an hour away, and amazing place. Again, it's like you're just cut off from everyone, and you are in the palace. So it gives you that feeling of royalty for some time. Of course, if you're going there for work, then be prepared for a few things because the electric plugs are not going to be, they have to make these things within the constraints of the old structures, right?
Yeah.
So you may have a plug which is like down below, you may not have it right by your desk, for example. Also be prepared to climb up a lot,
Hmm.
even though there are elevators, there are things, but say the elevator is not working. So be prepared to climb up 2, 3 stairs to go up. They upgraded me to a suite, which I really enjoyed because I had a private balcony, and then you have the hills just out there. So and the room had like a small courtyard with a fountain in it. So I was in heaven
I think
practically.
that's the thing of these heritage properties, right? If you really think about them, they have their old world charm, as I
True.
would call it. But if you really compare them to, you mentioned Fairmont right now,
Yeah.
right? The rooms at the Fairmont will be very different to
Yeah.
our Samud Palace, right? And that is something that I have come to really understand only after going to one of these, because
Yeah.
often people think that, oh, the rooms that I get at a Fairmont will be the same as a palace. What are some other things that you like doing in Jaipur?
Yeah, I mean, like just to complete this topic of the hotels, I would say if you're going for a business trip, but you still want to get a feel of the palace, then maybe stay in a modern hotel.
Yeah.
But if you're going on a holiday and come on, you don't want to work on your holiday, then experience the true Havelis and the true palaces, because everything you like at Samod, we actually took a tour along the Haveli, and then we saw the painted murals, the frescoes, the way that the royalty dined and what they did. It was just amazing. Some of the other things I did, in fact, this time very atypically, I actually posed for photos.
Mhm.
So that was something quite interesting, and I made my mother pose too, because what happened was, and we were not ready for it at all, but we landed from the at the airport, and while going, there are two new attractions in Jaipur if you haven't been there for some time. Okay, for those who've been going, they've probably seen it. One is Patrika Gate,
Okay.
and the second is Toran Dwar.
What are they?
So, and it comes straight when you're coming from the airport. So Toran Dwar is this beautiful structure, Rajasthani ceremonial gates that are made, and this is made in white marble. So we quickly got out, took a few pictures, and it's beautiful to look at. So it's nice to see that heritage is being preserved and even built even today. So Toran means the garland that you would put over a door, and that's exactly how they welcome you. So right when you come from the airport, you have Toran Dwar welcoming you. You go a little ahead, and I think that is Patrika Gate is probably Jaipur's, if not Rajasthan's, most Instagram spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
It's not
if you,
Hawa Mahal.
if not anymore, I feel, because it's open 24 hours, it's free, the entry is free, and there are beautiful murals and frescoes everywhere. So you see a lot of pre-wedding shoots, all those, a lot of photographers. Like, you really have to be there early to catch it alone. I wasn't ready for it, but I wanted to see it, because if you remember, we had actually used that photograph in one of our promotions for Rajasthan when we were doing for inbound guests.
Oh, yes, yes.
So it was this beautiful thing with, door after door after door that is painted in vivid colors. So I just wanted to see it once. And this is made by the media group Patrika. So that's why Patrika Gate. I went there, and this sweet, smooth talking photographer kind of, talked me into it. And I remembered our discussion where we said that when we go, take your few photographs with the local photographers there, because they do a really good job. And he was doing everything digitally, and he said, I'll cut your reels and I'll make you stuff. So do it. So yeah, I indulged in a little bit of photography out there. And then, of course, when you go to Rajasthan, you have to taste the local food. So you cannot escape that. And our driver was amazing. And every few hours or minutes, you can see the hospitality in everyone out there, right? It's a time for a lassi, let's go here. Time for a kulfi, let's go to Pandit Kulfi. Why don't you have the kullad chai here? So right near Hawa Mahal, if you go a little ahead, there's a famous kullad chai place, and they give you chai, which was quite delicious. And then he was like, Rawat, then pyaz ki kachori, and then you go to Kota and have the dal ki kachori. So he was very specific about where he would make us taste different things, right? So from morning till evening, you're just eating there all the time. And I haven't even spoken about Lal Mas or Jangli Mas till now.
So is my favorite lassi wala still there?
Of course, the lassi wala is there.
MI Road lassi
MI
wala.
Road lassi wala, but you have to go there really early, because otherwise he runs out of his lassi.
Oh, really?
And then you have the next one next door who starts selling when this guy runs out.
But I think that's also
So-
called the lassi wala only,
Exactly.
right?
He's also called the lassi wala. So yeah.
And then what
food
happened to
is
the
still
Lal
there.
Mas and the Jangli Mas?
I mean, that was almost every night, right?
Yeah.
So we're at dinner, but we kind of chose that we go easy on the food. But Lal Mas is famous, I think, but our server recommended Jangli Mas, and he said, you are at the Samod Haveli. I was at the palace at that point. So he said, you are at the palace, eat the food of the royals. And we actually did that. And even the vegetarian food was amazing. So there were a few meals that were veg as well. I mean, kher sangris and dal bati churma, and the whole explanation about how the flavors are merged. So you have something that's sweet, but also something that's, and it's all local food. So it was quite nice.
Awesome. So I think that's a lot of talking about food, but I quite agree, like that a trip to Jaipur can be a trip to Jaipur only and not a trip to Rajasthan, because there are so many things that you can definitely do there. Because I know that similar to Samod Palace, which is a little away from the cities, there are many other palaces or luxury properties that you can visit
Yeah.
around Jaipur. Another thing is that there is Amir Fort, which was shown in Jodha Akbar.
Yeah,
Was it?
that's right.
Yeah. Then there's also Nahargarh Fort.
And Amir Fort has the sound and light show, which you
In the
should not
evening.
miss. Yeah.
And then I think there is Nahargarh Fort, which was in
Yeah.
Rang De Basanti, that
True.
famous song that was shot over there. Okay, let's zoom out a little. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Jaipur is often thought of that, or it is often thought of that Rajasthan has two regions, Mewar and Marwar. But when we were preparing for this episode,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you mentioned that that is not really the case. That is not true. So, what do you mean when you say that it's not true that Rajasthan only has two regions?
Neil, I think it's to make life simple for all the tourists and the travelers. A lot of the travel companies and others and tourism has generally just classified Rajasthan into two. Are
Yeah.
you going to Mewar? Are you going to Marwar? But that's not true, right? The regions were according to the kingdoms. The Rajputs in different regions, they were ruling it. So the names given were all according to these regions. So if you see, let's start from the east. If you start from the east, you have Shekhawati region,
Yeah.
which is the northeast, and this is the land of frescoes, havelis, and horses as well, right? Then you have Hadoti or Kota, which is the southeast region, and which is where you see the rivers.
And Kotas where everyone goes to study.
Kotas where everyone goes to study and get really good marks.
Yeah.
Then, of course, you have Jaipur and Amer, which is one region as such. And Amer, of course, was the capital, and later they shifted it to Jaipur so they could manage everything better, because then they felt that Amer was getting a little away. Then you have the Bikaner region, which is the northwest region, and we know Bikaneri Bhujia and all of that.
Yeah.
The
Where
Deshnok
the Karni Mata temple
Karni
also
Mata
is
temple
there.
is there.
Yeah.
Deshnok temple is there. Then you have Alwar and Bharatpur. So Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary is something that we all know, and this is where you would go. So this is in the north, and then you have Mewar, which is Udaipur mainly, the Aravalli Hills, so which is in the southwest region. So that is Mewar, and then you have Marwar, which is Jodhpur, Jaisalmer, and the surrounding area.
So the desert dunes,
the
the
desert
sands
dunes
all
and the
that.
sand. So it's like if you want lakes, go to Mewar. If you want the desert, then go to Marwar. If you want Jaipur and Amer and the fort, then of course go to that region. But because the airport is in Jaipur, Jaipur often gets combined either with a Mewar or a Marwar region, and that's why very often we say I'm going to Mewar, but you're actually going to Jaipur along with Udaipur.
Yeah, I think if you really think about it, you fly into Jaipur, you go north, you go to Mandava, then you go west, you go Bikaner, then you
Right.
hit Jodhpur, Jaisalmer, and then you can fly out of Jodhpur or Jaisalmer. If you look at again Jaipur and you just decide to go west, you can kind of go to the marble capital of Rajasthan, which is I think
Kishangarh,
Kishangarh.
yeah.
Then you get to Udaipur, Mount Abu, and all of those. So I guess you're right that Jaipur kind of gets most of the flights. So today, I think we are going to talk about Mewar.
Okay.
Right. And if you are to talk about Mewar, like you said, Udaipur kind of gets a lot of the footage because it's one of the most famous places. Now, Udaipur is often known as the city of lakes, and I think it has 7 lakes surrounding the city. The taxi driver once had told me that this is a city where there are less than 10 traffic lights. Maybe I don't know whether that's true or not. I have to fact check it, but that's something that I have known. But if we are to start talking about Mewar, where would you like to start, and what should we really deep dive into?
I think the best part to start is Udaipur, because the city is so pretty that if you've seen recently, a lot of weddings also happened in Udaipur.
Yeah.
It's become like the wedding capital of India. If you had to name one place, I guess that would be, well, Rajasthan in total, but Udaipur also, because it combines the beauty of Rajasthan with the lakes.
Yeah.
So you are looking at a water body all the time. And the best part is, Neil, there's a accommodation choice depending on your budget. So it's a wide range. You can go and stay in a normal 3-star hotel if you want. You can stay in a palace hotel. You can stay in a floating hotel.
Yeah.
You could stay in a haveli and overlook all of this. So it all depends on what is your price range, what is your choice, where do you want to be. And Udaipur offers all of that. I think it's not surprising that newer hotels are opening in Udaipur. One thing that kind of comes to my mind when I think of Rajasthan in general and Udaipur is actually like surprising. But when I went to Morocco, I was reminded of Rajasthan.
Oh yeah.
And if you see, Fez reminds me of Udaipur because it was white. Marrakesh is pink in color, and that kind of looks like Jaipur because of the sandstone that is used. Then you have Peshawar, which is at the very north. which has all these blue buildings, and that looks like Jodhpur.
Jodhpur.
So and the general culture, the way people are hospitable, the whole focus on food and everything kind of reminded me of that. So actually, when I was in Fez, I kept thinking of Udaipur. So Udaipur is really special. There are lots of things to do there, or do nothing actually. Just sit by the lake
just
and spend
enjoy,
all
right?
evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I've done multiple trips to Udaipur, trips where I've done nothing, trips where I've done a lot. But at least if you look at my list, I often like going to Jagmandir. You can do a nice boat ride. Is that Lake Pichola? I
That is
think,
Lake
yeah, Lake
Pichola.
Pichola.
Yeah.
So Lake Pichola, where I can do a boat ride, go to Jagmandir. Now Jagmandir was, there's a misconception often that the Uday Vilas was the only hotel used in Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, but I think some of the shots were also shot at Jagmandir, is what they say. So everyone can go to Jagmandir and enjoy a cup of coffee. I often like doing that. I like going to City Palace because that museum is one of the best museums in the world, and City Palace kind of has a cafe just attached to it, and you can sit there and have a nice cup of coffee and have the sunset. So that is also something that I definitely like to look at. But something that many people don't know is that there are many night heritage walks that people can do in Udaipur, and there are guides who tell you stories not only about City Palace and the history, but there are some haunted stories also that
Sure.
you can definitely check out. So that's also something that I would recommend. But what are some of the other experiences that you would like to talk about when it comes to Udaipur?
So I think what you said is very true about Rajasthan in general. Every city, see it by the day, but please go back at night and enjoy the city because things are quieter. It's all illuminated and it looks so stunning, right? So
Yeah.
that is something you should definitely not miss. Like you said, a boat ride there, of course. Visit to the city palace is a must. In terms of trying food, there are things like kullad coffees there,
Yeah.
espressos that you can try, which is also really quite interesting. Talking of cafes, I actually like this cafe called Amrai, which is just, and you can overlook the Taj Lake Palace from there, and you look at the city palace from there. So you can't take a car all the way. You have to get down, get into a rickshaw, and then go ahead. But it enjoys this beautiful location. Another favorite place of mine is the Leela Palace in Udaipur, which is also great. So maybe you are staying at Uday Vilas or you're not, but again, Leela Palace, Uday Vilas, all of these places are really something special out
Isn't
there.
that the property that has those large lawns and you can really enjoy
Yeah,
them
and
by the lake?
you're by the lake, so those are some things to do. Excursions out of Udaipur are also quite interesting. So one excursion you can do is go to Chittorgarh and you see the whole story as we saw it in Padmavat. Um, the whole, it has these palaces out there. It has historic places, but definitely go with a guide because the whole place comes to life. It has the Victory Towers also, but also quite moving are, where Johar was committed. And you have the names of all the ladies who committed Johar. And what is also shocking and it kind of shakes you is that there are empty plaques also kept for women who might have committed Johar to write their names in future. So it kind of moves you quite a bit out there. Then close to that is Haldi Ghati, where Maharana Pratap and Chetak, the story that we know, and how Chetak, his horse, carried him across the ditch, is the legend that we hear. That even when he was, injured, he really took care of Maharana Pratap and he protected him. And the best part is when you go to Austria in Swarovski, you actually see Chetak come to life in Swarovski form, like with the whole crystals
I quite
dazzling,
like how
right?
you're making
So,
these connections to different places outside of India
yeah.
with Rajasthan. Pretty good. Okay, so we have
Yeah,
Chittorgarh,
so
we have,
that is something.
yeah.
And then if you want to enjoy a safari, then close by to Udaipur is Javai, and which is recently kind of the trending place. So if you've been to Udaipur a few years back and you want to come back, then combine Udaipur with Javai. You can go and stay in Javai as well and enjoy the leopard safari out there. Come back to Udaipur and fly out. So,
I'm going to Udaipur tomorrow.
oh wow.
And but it's to none of these places. I'm going to Nathdwara, which is
Okay.
the Srinathji temple, my annual visit with Heta. And this time Raya is also coming with us.
Nice.
So I'm going to spend the entire day doing the 8 darshans or the 6 darshans. And it is very different because I'm not used to walking barefoot outside of a temple, and suddenly there is a lot of rain also during this season, but at the same time it's all mushy, and then I get cold feet. But yeah, we do that once a year, so we are doing that. But what we've done also is that whenever we fly to Udaipur, Nathdwara is about an hour and 15 minutes. After all of that is done, the second day we tend to go and stay in one of the properties. So one of the times we stayed near City Palace in one of our hotels called Vishnupriya. Another time we went to the Taj Aravallis. If you
Oh, that's
have
nice.
kids, I would definitely recommend that property.
It's a little away from the city though.
Yeah.
So if you want to go and enjoy the mountains, yes.
But it's also resorty, which
Yeah,
means
yeah.
that it's always crowded.
Correct.
And be ready to wait for your dosa at breakfast for like 20 minutes. It's like that. So that's something. Also, I'm a fan of the Ras hotels. So Ras Devigad is something that we always stop at for lunch because that has a nice view of the Aravali Hills. And watching the sunset there is also a fun experience.
Neil, we have to mention your favorite place in there, and which is Kumbhalgarh.
Oh yes,
And
the Great Wall of
the
India.
Great Wall of India.
Yeah.
So that's something definitely worth doing, I think, because after the Great Wall of China, I think this is the
second
largest.
longest wall in the world is what they say. And if you really look at it, it's amazing. And if you really want to look at it right now, and anyone who's watching this, I would say go onto YouTube, search for Kumbhalgarh Rajasthan advertisement, and it will show you an ad which showcases the wall in the best way. So that is also definitely something you can do. Now, okay, we've mentioned all of these different places that become a part of Mewat, but I remember you once telling me that there are also certain royal experiences that you can enjoy out here, like dining with the royal family and all of that. Are they still possible, or are they like outdated now?
It is possible. You just have to book it in advance. In fact, just now when I went to Jaipur for the travel mart, it was held in City Palace, and the City Palace is right at the center of Jaipur. So it was quite stunning to actually have a meal in the City Palace, because otherwise you usually just go there for a day trip. You see the museum, you see the palace, you take a few photos and you're out. But we spent the whole evening there, and it was beautifully laid out, beautifully arranged. And there was a talk, there was a meeting, and then we had dinner there. They also opened the Chandra Mahal at this point for us to go and see. So we had a chance to go up and see. And this is the part of the City Palace where the royalty still lives. And you can actually set up a meal in the Chandra Mahal, or there are about 3-4 venues there where you can have a meal with them. But you have to plan it in advance and pay for it, of course. But yeah, you do have a chance. So there's a Sheesh Mahal out there, and it has a beautiful view of the whole city. You see Nahargarh on one side, you see the rest of the City Palace from the top, and it's quite a stunning place.
So they say there's luxury in Rajasthan, but there's also ultra luxury if you really want to do it, right? And if you want to pay for it, then many things can be unlocked, don't you think?
Especially guests who come from outside India, when they come and visit and they really want to experience royalty, I think Rajasthan's one of the best places. And it's not surprising, Neil, because every time you think of a luxury holiday, you think of where do I want to go. The first thing that comes to your mind in India is Rajasthan. In fact, I take a trip with my friends every year. So this year we could not go anywhere to some other country. And then we realized that one of them is coming to India in January, and we're planning a holiday in Rajasthan. And she said, let's try and go stay at the Umaid Bhavan this time. So maybe we'll do a Jodhpur Jaisalmer holiday in January.
Well, that is for another episode, I would
Yes.
say. But now, if someone wants to do a Mewat itinerary, and of course, we have multiple itineraries on our website, but just to pick your brain a little, how many nights would you spend in Udaipur? How many nights would you spend in, say, if you want to end or start in Jaipur? Like, how many nights would you stay in Jaipur?
I think you need a week if you want to do both Udaipur and Jaipur at least. If you have a short break or a weekend, then Udaipur by itself or Jaipur by itself, a 3-nighter is minimum. We forgot to mention the Ranakpur temples, which are also a stunning piece of architecture. And it depends on what is your interest and how much time you want to spend at these monuments, right? Now, if you want to add Zawai to it, then I would add another 2 nights at least, because it's nature after all. You cannot guarantee a sighting, and you want to experience the forest, you want to experience being in nature. So it's time to slow down, I think, out there. And even reaching the place takes about 2-3 hours. So 2-3 nights in Zawai, about 3 to 4 nights in Udaipur, and 3 to 4 in Jaipur is something I would think of. So minimum a week. And of course, if you have more time, then you can do more things. Like for example, you want to experience staying in the city, but also experience a palace like the Samud Palace away, then you need to factor in 2 more days for that. Otherwise, you're just spending all your time in the car, just going from place A to place B, but not really enjoying the place.
Makes sense. Well, I think that's all my points also. Do you think we've missed out on anything when it comes to Mewar?
I think we've covered most of it that Mewar would have to offer. Um, you can make different combinations, of course. It doesn't have to be a only Mewar itinerary when you're thinking of Rajasthan. So you can combine Jodhpur, you can combine Jaisalmer, you can fly into Jaipur also or drive to Jaipur and cover all the other places in between too. So yeah, for simplicity, we would break them into different regions, but honestly, if you have
You could
15,
do all
20
of
days, do
Rajasthan
all of
also.
Rajasthan together as
I
well.
mean, you could do all of Rajasthan. You could also do Jaipur, Agra, Delhi added to it.
As a golden
You
triangle,
could
which is
probably
famous.
drive
Yeah.
down to Ahmedabad and probably do a Gujarat
Mount
itinerary.
Abu along with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there are a lot of things to do, but I think all we are trying to say is that go to Rajasthan this year, because why not? It's one of those places where I keep going again and again. You keep going
Yes.
again and again, and definitely you should also go to. So yes, that was our episode of Mewad in Rajasthan. Make sure you plan a trip this year, because we are definitely going at different points in time, but I think you should also go too. So we'll see you on the next episode. Bye bye.
Bye. See you next time.